Hi, my name is Thomas Wang, and today I'm here to just talk about my middle school experience and what I think about it. And what I think separates my middle school experience from others is that of my 3 years of middle school, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, I have not had a normal year of middle school, all because of COVID. And first of all, I'd like to say that switching from elementary school to middle school is not a big deal at all because I remember being scared to switch over schools, and when I actually did switch when the time came, it was extremely underwhelming. Like, lockers were not a big deal, the whole bell schedule with new teachers wasn't really a big deal. Knowing the location and where your classes are, you just have to, like, get used to it. And they have people there to help you if you're lost anyway, so it's not really a big deal. So middle school, when I first got here, was like, it wasn't a big deal. It was actually boring, in fact, because in the end you're just going up a grade. It's just normal learning. But then COVID hit halfway through the year, and that created a mess of chaos. Like, I remember they tried to do online classes, or they tried to, it was still awful, and we basically didn't learn anything for the second half of the year. We still learned a little bit. They kind of gave up on learning, and they made us do a time capsule, which I don't think I'll ever open that ever. But then summer hit, and this is your quarantine years, not years, like just time period. And I'm pretty sure everyone spent their quarantine either social media or video games or just some sort of like social thing, like articles or something. Or they could have been smart about it and like actually exercised or did something useful. In my case, I did video games, which definitely is a waste of my time, and I'm still doing it to this day. But yeah, I don't think quarantine was a good thing for anyone, and especially when I came back to school for seventh grade, I saw the people, and like everyone was just different. Everyone was weirder in a way. They just changed, and not for the better. I don't think most of them changed in like a bad way. Especially people who like got into TikTok and all that stuff. TikTok is, in my opinion, one of the worst things ever. Especially with all those trends like devious licks, like they started a trend to like shoot up schools or something. We got a warning for that, and it didn't happen. I hope it didn't happen anywhere. But that's just dumb. TikTok just seems like a dumb app at this point. But the people who got into that, they just, I feel like those are the people who just changed the most and just became a bad kid in a way. And from there, like seventh grade, not normal. We started with this 2 day form where we were in school 2 days a week, and we had to wear masks. Obviously, that was the thing. And the other 3 days were like online, kind of. They weren't technically online. We kind of just did work, and I actually preferred this over the normal 5 day at the time because you do less school work. You just go in 2 days a week, go home, play video games. Like, I enjoyed it at the time. But it definitely wasn't good for the education. I think the teachers struggled to teach us the normal amount that they needed to in such a limited, cramped time. Basically, every week they'd start by saying, like, we have limited time, we have to go fast. But we still learned. We got enough done. In the end, most people passed their SOL, so. And near the end of the year, they switched it from 2 days to 4 days in person, so that felt slightly more normal. So that's one step towards this whole pandemic thing being over. And that was like the seventh grade, and I had a bunch of friends who like took the fully virtual option instead of the half in person. I heard that was extremely boring, which it probably would be. You're just on a computer like the whole day just looking at classes. And in eighth grade, that's now, 3 years of middle school, this is still a not normal year. We had masks. Well, now it's been a year or so, so at this point, after a whole seventh grade year of wearing masks, it's normal at this point. I'd rather wear a mask than not, because that's what the COVID does. And this year, technically non-normal, still have mask, but it's 5 days a week, 5 days in person, so it's close to being normal at this point. And recently, just today, actually, in this time, we had masks. Masks were made optional, so don't need masks anymore. It's basically normal school year, basically no COVID, but still the first half was not normal. And the masks thing, it's optional now, and everyone made masks seem like a bad thing and like they'd much rather not wear them. But now that it's optional, most people are still wearing them because it's just, like I said, it's more normal to wear it than not. But so far, that's like my middle school experience. It's not over yet, but it's definitely not normal with all the COVID pandemic stuff. And I hope next year when I go into high school, things can definitely be better. But anyways, that's it.